Did Charlie Munger at the Daily Journal just lever up, borrow money to buy Alibaba and a mystery security? It sure looks like it. We're going to talk about that and more. If this is your first time tuning in, my name is Daniel. You are watching Unrivaled Investing. This is a no-hype, mission-focused channel trying to find you exceptional companies and unrivaled investments. In full disclosure, this is not financial advice, and at the time of this video publication, I did own stock in Alibaba 9988 on the Hong Kong exchange. I bought that via Interactive Brokers. And so, look, I've done a few videos on Alibaba already. I did a deep dive in terms of the valuation, why I like the setup, why I own it. I covered how when Charlie Munger bought for the Daily Journal, then doubled it again. And so I've covered it in length and how in the fourth quarter 2021 they doubled it. I believe the second time they doubled it. And we just found out that Charlie Munger was actually levering up or borrowing money during the fourth quarter 2021 to buy more Alibaba and this mystery security. And look, let me jump to the chase. No one knows exactly what this mystery security is except for, let's say, insiders at Daily Journal. But we should understand the dynamics here of this purchase and sale. So he bought $87 million worth of stock during the fourth quarter 2021. We know that Alibaba was approximately 30 to 40 million of that purchase based on fourth quarter 2021 prices and around 300,000 shares. So they do disclose 300,000 shares. We do know that they disclosed that I think it was in December that they made the purchases. So we know, okay, we can ballpark what the cost was. So that leaves a mystery purchase of 50 to 60 million because you see during the fourth quarter 2021 calendar year, their purchases of marketable securities was 87 million. Alibaba was maybe 30 to 40 million. That does leave about 50 to 60 million for this mystery purchase. This is fascinating to me for a couple of reasons. One is, as they disclosed in the footnote, he sold 50 million of stock with a cost basis of 3.3 million and recognized a $47 million gain. That is incredible. He really is one of the greatest of all time, no question, the GOAT. Made 15 times plus his money in just a few years, presumably, on this investment. He borrowed, this is the second point that's really interesting, he borrowed over $37 million, so using margin against the portfolio to make these two purchases. So in effect, levering up to buy Alibaba and this mystery security. So selling stock and borrowing to buy Alibaba and this mystery security. And this raises even more questions. How levered are they? And has Charlie Munger gone mad? My answer is no. I don't think so. I think Charlie is still wicked smart. And I think looking at, this leverage, it isn't prudent for most investors. But the amount of debt he's using is around 17% of their current portfolio. Alibaba is already down fairly significantly. And so this is arguably reasonable for him because, one, he's a GOAT. He knows what he's doing. This is not recommended for most investors. I don't make recommendations on this channel, but for most folks, this is how you blow up, is making a levered bet on something that goes against you and not having the financial reserves to be like, oh, snap, margin call. Charlie Munger, this is sort of like a play account for him. Like, you need to understand that this is $400 million. His net worth is several billion dollars. So if he was like, oh, there's a margin call, I'll personally help out Daily Journal or do something like that, that could happen. So you need to understand that dynamic. And at the end of the day, 17% of the portfolio being levered, around 69 million total in margin debt, versus this $395 million portfolio value does mean it's not crazy, over levered. The other big question is, how did they sell? What did they sell for a 15x plus gain? So that $50 million in proceeds. The answer is actually a little puzzling here because the fourth quarter 2021 investment update reflected only adding to Alibaba the 300,000 shares that I already called out and not selling anything else in the portfolio. So because regulations say, hey, you don't have to disclose foreign stocks, this does imply that this $50 million sale was a foreign stock sale. So this does create a little bit of mystery. What did Charlie Munger sell and what did he buy? First, a quick plug where if you're interested in joining a community of fellow investors looking to learn and find exceptional companies, we have an exclusive community on Discord. You can sign up at unrivaledinvesting.com, click join the journey. I also call out potential multi-baggers and share my own personal portfolio for those interested. If you enjoy this video, please make a point of hitting that thumbs up, hit that subscribe button. And if you're interested in checking out that community, go to unrivaledinvesting.com, click join the journey. More about that community in just a second. So while it hasn't been formally disclosed, I think you can make an educated guess here on what he sold. I suspect the security that he trimmed or sold was BYD, a pioneer of electric vehicles and batteries in China. The reason why I think it's an educated guess is Charlie Munger has talked about owning them. So he's pretty much disclosed that several times throughout the years at Daily Journal meetings. So I think it's a reasonable guesstimate to say, yeah, and it's a foreign security, that this is probably what he was selling to finance the purchase, especially given the fact that BYD has rallied several 100% in just the last 2 years and was making new highs in December when he made this sale, arguably to buy Alibaba and this mystery security. So he probably looked all-time high, said, you know what, maybe now's the time to take some chips off the table and buy things that he thought were more of a discount and this sort of mystery security. So what's the mystery security that he bought? While only insiders know, there's one thing we do know. He used margin to buy it. So what does that imply, trying to use sort of a logical framework? And look, I'm not going to, I don't want to speculate on this channel. I like to try to keep it to the hard facts, but we can sort of learn based on his actions. We can sort of make an educated guess on like what type of security he bought. And so based on using money, borrowing money, to make this purchase, I would argue he needs to have an above average margin of safety. He's looking at something, this is me sort of, conjecturing here, that he's looking at something that has a huge discount to value. So maybe it's a company that trades well below, let's say, liquidation value. So maybe that's one possibility. Another possibility is it's a company just trading at a really low multiple to free cash flow, like trading at like 5 times free cash flow, and he knows it's going to grow and something like that. And so I'm sort of spitballing here because the reality is no one knows except the insiders. And so what I am going to do, though, is I'm going to create a separate channel in the unrivaledinvesting.com, the exclusive Discord, where we can sort of brainstorm there and spitball ideas in terms of what it can be. Because I don't want to do crazy speculation on this channel. I want to keep it to what are the facts here? And I think the facts are using margin means this is probably something that he has above average conviction. Given the fact that it's a mystery security in Alibaba, it probably does mean that he has more conviction on Alibaba, and he's looking at something that's sold off significantly and trades at a huge discount to either liquidation value or some sort of fair value, just based on that type of conviction that he's willing to do that right now. That's at least my read on it. I'd love to absolutely hear your thoughts. If you want to engage in that discussion in terms of spitballing different ideas, part of the community, the Unrivaled Nation, spitballing with ideas on what that mystery security is, check out unrivaledinvesting.com. I'm about to open up that channel in Discord to talk about it. If this video has been helpful for you, please make a point of hitting that thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. Thanks so much for tuning in.